Okay, welcome everyone. And this is our first Zoom program about the Sojourner Truth Community Garden art project that I'm doing this year for the City of Sacramento's Artist in Residency program. And I would be in Sacramento right now working in the community doing this project, but since the pandemic, we postponed it, and now we're just deciding to do some virtual programs so that we can share this with the community. And then this project will be installed at Sojourner Truth Community Garden. That's on Gloria Drive next to the Robbie Waters Library and the School of Engineering and Sciences in the Pocket Greenhaven area of Sacramento. And with these Zoom programs, I want to show you my whole process for making this artwork and share as much as possible with you virtually. And today I'm going to introduce you to the project and introduce you to my process of hand paper making. I'm doing this Zoom program today from my garage studio in Santa Rosa, California. And my husband, Tim, that's Timothy S. Allen, is the videographer and my technical helper. Yeah. And we're both very new at this, doing Zoom and videos and all of that technology. So please bear with us as we get all this worked out. I'm sure we'll get much better as we go through these programs. Every Wednesday afternoon, we'll be having a different program at 2 p.m. Here. And then the last 2 weeks, or the last 2 programs, will be at the site at the community garden in Sacramento. And I wanted to show you my studio now, and Tim has the camera. He can just do a view around. You can see we have a counter here, cabinets, lots of buckets, a blender, and then over here, the tables with all of the paper pulp set up for paper making. And in these Zoom programs, I'll go through it step by step, how we make all of the artwork. And this art project is going to be a living quilt. And that's sort of a different kind of artwork. It's an environmental art project, and it involves putting seeds in the paper pulp and then making the paper quilt, putting it out on the ground, on the prepared soil, and letting the seeds sprout with watering and over time, changing into living, blooming wildflowers in the same colors and patterns as the quilt design. And another thing I wanted to tell you before we get too far here is, as I'm going through this, if you think of any questions or want to make any comments, you can click on chat down at the bottom of your Zoom screen and just type in there any questions or comments. And at the end of this program today, I'm going to look at the chat and we can talk back and forth easily to answer any questions you may have or to hear any of your comments about this. That's sort of the introduction, and now I'm going to tell you about this living quilt, and I'm calling it Living Quilt for Sojourner Truth. That's the name of the park that this will be in, and the name of the community garden where I'm working to install this. And most of you may have heard of Sojourner Truth. She was an escaped slave, and she became a very famous abolitionist and active as a spokesperson in the women's suffrage movement. And you know that 2020 is the 100th anniversary of women's suffrage, or women getting the right to vote in America. So I thought it was important to have in my quilt design and in this art project some sort of homage or reference to the importance of Sojourner truth. And so for the quilt design, I want to show you my idea. I'm going to use the North Star quilt pattern. And this is just the North Star, the very basic pattern in construction paper. So you can see how the colors will work. I'm using red, yellow, blue, white colors in the quilt. And I'll make the paper pulp in those colors. And I'll have seeds for each color of wildflowers. And this quilt will also have white borders. You can see in this sketch I've made here how it looks when it's all put together. There are white borders between each of the blocks and around the outside of the quilt. And that quilt will be 8 feet by 10 feet. So that means I have to make 20 squares that are 20 inches square. So it's quite a process of making all of this. And this is the first one I made just to kind of try out my idea and see how it would work. It doesn't have any seeds in it. And over here is one I made yesterday that does have the seeds in it. You can see the seeds for the wildflowers. You know, this red part has seeds for red wildflowers, and the yellow seeds for yellow wildflowers, and the white for white wildflowers, and so on. And so in later programs, I'm going to be telling you how to make the pulp, how to make the stencils to do this, and I'm going to tell you about the different wildflower seeds. I'm using all natural and biodegradable materials so that this can just go back to nature and work with nature as a partner. Nothing is going to be toxic or harmful to the earth. In fact, it may even nourish the earth, because paper pulp is a kind of mulch. And so you can see this is one of the 20-inch squares. I have another one here that I made yesterday. And I hang them up on a clothesline to dry. They're put on a piece of fabric, and then after it dries, you can just peel it off. And then you have another square for the quilt. So you can see I have a lot of work to do, and usually I would be having open studio sessions so that people in the community and students from the nearby school would be able to come in and help make some of this paper. But because of the pandemic, I'm doing it here, and then I'll bring it there, and we'll have the public ceremony at the installation. And the installation of this quilt on November 21st at 2 p.m., and that's a Saturday, just the Saturday before Thanksgiving week. All right, in order to show you how paper pulp is made, or how paper is made, I'm going to just do a basic demonstration now of the process of paper making. To make paper, you need what we call the paper making mold. You can see it's just a frame with some screening on it. And this part's called the decal. That goes on top to control the edge of your piece of paper. And when you're going to make paper, you want to get everything wet. I had this wet before, but I think it's kind of dry now. Just getting it wet in some water. That keeps the pulp from sticking to this. Okay. Then I'm going to put them over here. And Move this out of the way. And I have a piece of cloth here. This is what I'm going to put the newly formed sheets of paper on. And this is just a piece of interfacing material. And I've got it marked here with a 20-inch square. You can see the green line there. So I'll have an idea of where to put the sheets of paper. For each of these 20-inch squares, I have to make 4 pieces of paper. I need more pulp. I mix the pulp and then pour it into the tub. Stir it up well. Then you put your screen, the flat side on top, the decal on top, and you go into the tub, lift it up, and shake it a bit to distribute it evenly over the screen. Let the water drain a bit. And then you place it here. And then I use a sponge. Take up a little bit of the water, squeeze it in the bucket. And then remove the screen.
Oh, cool.
Now to finish, this is going to be like the background for the square that you see in the colorful star pattern over there. I'll make one this way, and one this way, and then another one this way. And then I have a tiny 4-inch square that goes in the middle to complete the quilt block. And in the programs after this, I'll show you the whole process, how to do this. And now, so you can understand this whole idea of an artwork that changes over time and goes back into the earth and comes back as living flowers, I'm going to show you a slideshow of a project that is similar that I did in Santa Rosa in 2018. So I'm going to transfer over to that slideshow now, and bear with us while we make this transfer and try to get it up on the screen so everyone can see it. Okay, this can you see that? Living quilt for Santa Rosa transforming.
No.
No.
No?
I see your thumb.
Yeah, that's what I see. Oh, here. Wait. I see something now.
Okay. All right, this is going to be a slideshow over time showing how it was made in my studio, then put out in the park, and how it changed over the months. It's going already. Can you see it moving?
No.
No, there's I don't even see a video.
Photographs.
I see a title page. Okay, now I see a picture.
Okay.
Okay. Is it moving? Changing?
No.
No, it's not moving. No.
Okay, I'm going to stop the sharing. And then I think you have to share again. What about now?
No, I just see Corky. Hi, Corky.
Oh, hi, Aniko. Yeah, now I see Aniko.
Sorry.
I just also wanted to mention that I need to leave at 2:30 for a photo shoot. So okay, just wanted to mention that I'll be stepping out at that point.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, gorgeous.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Are those poppies?
Yeah.
Oh, California poppies. Over here, blue pine.
now what is that wooden structure on the end?
It's a raised bed that I made
Uh-huh.
with boards and soil, and then I wove a headboard and a footboard. I'm going to do that at the community garden in Sacramento also.
And those are just made out of twigs or something, or?
Yeah, the headboard and footboard made out of tree branches that are trees
Wow.
or vines, something from the local area.
And then how are they, like, do you use twine or something to?
I weave them back and forth and then sometimes tie it with a natural string.
Wow, I love that. That's awesome.
And
So
did
it
you
makes a
see the
nice
flowers?
headboard and
You're
footboard.
gonna put the paper, the seeds on the ends of it too, so that flowers will grow around that twine.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
the wood. Oh, great.
Yeah, we planted some, kind of vines that would go up.
Stop sharing a moment.
That would go up the headboard and the footboard.
Oh, that's
That's
cool.
cool.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, now you should be able to see Jane.
can you see me?
Yes, yes, I see Jane now.
Okay, so you can see this is quite a process. It takes several months usually.
Right.
That quilt in Santa Rosa was also installed in late November, and then I think even at the first of the year we could start to see a little sprouting, but it took until about March, April, May for it to
Yeah.
really start blooming.
Yeah.
So it means the project will last and it will return in subsequent years.
Mhm.
They still have it at the park in Santa Rosa here, and it comes back every year with more flowers.
Gift
And
that keeps
so-
on giving.
Yeah, the gift that keeps on giving. That's great.
Yeah, yeah. So now we can go to the chat session, I guess, if people, let's see, somebody had a, okay.
Oh, I have a
Please
question
clarify
earlier.
specific flower seeds for each color in your pattern. Okay, we're using 4 colors. The white flowers are Baby's Breath, which is a very short annual flower that blooms really well in the early spring. And then I'm using some white poppies. They're just like our regular golden poppies,
Really?
but they're a white color.
Wow.
And then I'm using another white wildflower. In one of the programs, I'm going to go through the whole thing with the seeds, but I've tried to find flowers that would be the right color, maybe bloom at the same time, and be about the same height.
Right.
So that's part of the design of the project, is picking the seeds. And I don't want to use anything that will be harmful to the environment, no invasives. So I've tried to get wildflowers that normally grow in this area.
What were the purple flowers?
The purple flowers, some of them were lupin, blue lupin, and some were, it starts with a G. I can't even remember the name of it now. We have all these Latin scientific names for the names of flowers.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And California bluebells is one of them. And Texas bluebonnets is another common blue wildflower.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
And for the red ones,
So basically seeds, flowers. Oh, I'm sorry, Jane. So
yeah,
basically seeds and flowers that are native or grow well in the Sacramento region area.
right, right.
Okay.
And I also should tell you that I'm using a company that I've used many times before for other projects. It's American Meadows. And here's one of the seed packages, americanmeadows.com. And they were so nice. They really like what I do with these seeds.
Yeah.
And they gave me a really good discount as a donation
Great.
to this project. So that's American Meadows at americanmeadows.com.
And what were
they
the
have
red
wildflower
flowers?
seeds for every part of the U.S. That are some. They have a native mix. They have a mix for hummingbirds or whatever you want. And I've worked with them to figure out what would grow well in Sacramento and come at the same time and hopefully be about the same height.
Yeah. What were the red flowers?
The red, I'm using red poppies. There's also a red flax and Drummond phlox, Phlox is another wildflower.
Oh, okay.
But there is a red poppy also.
Wow, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I'm surprised about white poppies.
Yeah, we have white ones, red ones, and yellow ones.
Wow, okay.
So I think they're beautiful flowers, and they usually grow easily, and they like dry, hot weather. So,
yeah.
Okay, perfect for Sacramento then.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah.
It's really too bad the public and the students can't get their hands
in the paper
I
book.
can see how valuable and popular it would be to be so interactive.
Yeah, I was really counting on that. We had planned to start back in April, with the workshops and the open studio sessions. And the library there that's near the garden was also going to, just let us use the community room to have the open studios and the participation.
Yeah, everything has changed.
So I do plan to come to Sacramento for the week of November 14th to the 21st. The 21st is the Saturday of the installation. And I'll be at the garden making the bed with the boards and the soil and weaving the headboard and the footboard. And then on Saturday the 21st, we're hoping we can have some public participation to lay out the quilt squares and stake them down, to get the whole thing installed.
Oh, cool.
So, we can do mask and social distancing at that outdoor sort of ceremony to install the quilt.
Yeah. We'll all look like astronauts out there.
Right.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe by then our schools will have some sort of hybrid return back to the classroom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe,
that would be
maybe.
nice.
I don't know.
We can't. Yeah, I can't even forecast anything.
No, it's so hard to forecast that.
Yeah,
I am still in touch with the teachers and the principal at the school there, the School of Engineering and Sciences, and they're very supportive of this project and wanted to participate too. And maybe some of them will be able to come out and help with laying down the quilt and building the bed.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be.
Yeah.
And
I've got to run.
Okay.
It's a pleasure to see you.
Very nice to see you.
By the way, I've got your yellow gun on my refrigerator. From the photo shoot that I had with you. It's right there, and I'm just
That's great.
that's Jane.
Yeah.
That's neat.
Okay, take care.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
And, I'm just going to say a little bit more about the connection to Sojourner Truth and the garden. In my research about, this project and learning about her, I read some stories, some historians believe it and some don't, that quilts were used in those days to help guide escaping slaves. And the North Star quilt pattern, of course, was very popular because you could put it out and that would point the way north, which would be the way to freedom for the escaping slaves. And also we know that, you know, the North Star has been used for centuries to give people a way of knowing the direction north, or being able to travel at sea at night by using the North Star. And I just think it's a beautiful pattern also, and has, you know, lots of interesting colors. So that's one reason I just started working with that quilt pattern and using it to make this particular project, Living Quilt for Sojourner Truth. So I don't know if anyone has any other questions or anything you wanted to ask me about it. I do want to remind
Dave, I think that's a perfect,
yeah,
that's a perfect sort of thought and concept behind the quilt. In fact, while you were talking, I was thinking that it might be, I know it's a ways away, but the actual program for on the 21st.
Yes.
I think it might be interesting to maybe to have one of the students at the school. They're very big into giving them real life lessons, looking back at history and connecting it to the present and the future. Maybe one of Will Kennedy's students can do a little bit, build on the research that you've done, you know, and the history behind North Star, Sojourner Truth, and kind of wrap it together. I mean, that
would be wonderful.
Kind of food for thought. So you don't have to do all the talking.
That would be wonderful.
Look at you can be directing, you know,
in other projects, you know, when I've been able to work in the community, we've always had, you know, other people speaking at that ceremony and, you know, sharing their thoughts about it. So that would be wonderful if we can get.
Yeah, we'll try and get, you know, even our city councilman, you know, a variety of people there, because it is significant. And, you know, your poor thing, you've had to have fits and starts with this project, and it'll be nice to see it come to fruition.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've been in touch with the local council members and, you know, all the connections in the community, including the Sojourner Truth African American Heritage Museum.
Oh, yes,
and
yes.
They are very supportive and want to, you know, participate. So hopefully I can, you know, continue to get some of them to come out.
Yes, I'm sure they will. I think that'll be great.
So I think it's about our time limit on this
for the presentation
meeting. Yeah, be sure to tune in again next Wednesday at 2 if you can to see the next part of the program. There I'm going to show you how the pulp is made and how the stencils for making the different colors and the pattern in the quilt are done.
Great. Look forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thanks, Jane. Bye, Tim.
Okay. Bye. Bye.
Bye.